and today I'm going to be going over how to clean up your back tuck, either on the trampoline or on the floor, wherever you have it, how to make it better, how to perfect it, and how to do it safely. Having a good back tuck means having good basics and having good form. If you do not have those two things, you will never have a good back tuck. And the key to having these is to practice. So I have been doing gymnastics for 8 years, and I've been coaching it for about 3 years. I teach TNT, so trampoline and tumbling. And in this video, I will teach you everything you need to know to clean up your back tuck, to make it safer, make it look nicer, and make it score higher. All right, materials you might need are wedge mats. You can use pillows, you can use a mattress or thicker mats, pillow mats or couch cushions, anything you have lying around the house, or if you can get to a gym where you can either train at. A lot of gyms, if you look up in your area, have open gyms where you can go in and use all the equipment for $5–10 for a couple hours. Those are also really awesome. Like I said, most gyms usually offer them. If not, you can always sign up for a class or schedule a session to get in there. But a lot of the stuff you can use, probably have it lying around your house. All right, so let's get into the video. All right, first things first, having good basics and practicing drills will ultimately get you a good back tuck. These are the most important parts and the most crucial parts to having a good back tuck, is really hitting and perfecting your basics and your drills, because those will build and those will make the harder skills come easier and will make your skills look so much nicer, especially your back tuck. So we're gonna focus on your backward roll and your tuck jump to help with your standing back tuck, because that's essentially what that is those two skills combined. Doing a tuck jump in the air and throwing your knees over your head, doing a backward roll. All right, so step one to getting a good back tuck is basics. You need to clean them up. Make sure that your basics are nice, clean, and tight. And this just basics are your beginner gymnastic skills, movements that appear throughout your gymnast development and across various apparatus. So like your back tuck will turn into your flyaway on bars, and will turn to your your souk on vault, and your dismount on beam, or even on the beam itself. So a back tuck is a skill that you see all throughout gymnastics on every single event. It's one that is a staple and you will use. Same like your backward roll turns into your back tuck. A lot of skills build on top of each other, and it's really important to get your basics down now to make it easier in the long run and to help you get those higher skills. Okay, so to work on your standing back tuck, first thing you need to have is a good tuck jump. In order to have a good tuck jump, you need to fully extend through your toes. And what I mean by that is your toes should point off the ground or off the trampoline to a full point. If they're not fully pointing off the ground, you're not jumping high enough, you're not pushing through them enough. Second thing is you really need to focus on squeezing your butt. Squeezing it as tight as you can, and your stomach. Squeeze nice and tall. What I like to tell a lot of my class kids is pretend that walls are closing in on you and you have to sneak past. So you have to squeeze as tight as you can. Or another fun way is to pretend you're holding in a fart. A lot of the little boys like that one. So squeeze, stay nice and tall, keep your chin up. Arms, bring them all the way up to your ears. Feet, you're gonna glue them together. Do little bounces first. Work on being in a nice, straight, tight line. And then you're just gonna bring your knees all the way up to your chest. All the way up. And really focus on keeping that core so you don't wobble around. Point toes up to the knee, to your chest. What you don't want to do when you're doing a tuck jump is get your knees behind you or not all the way up, because if you can't get your knees all the way up, it's going to be really hard to do a back tuck, because when you're flipping like this, bad rotation. So I'll go from the side right here. All the way up. Don't want to do, this would be an example of what not to do. This is going to be really hard to flip. My feet are flexed, legs are apart. That's scary doing a back tuck like that. So, biggest thing with tuck jumps, knees all the way up, feet together, work on being tight. Because if you can work on being tight in your tuck jump, doing the flip is the easy part. The form is what makes the back tuck easy. All right, the next step to getting a good back tuck is to have a good backward roll. Backward rolls are super important because essentially all your back tuck is a big straight jump to a backward roll. So if you can't get your knees over your head or do a proper backward roll, forget trying to do a good back tuck. It's not going to be safe and it's going to be dangerous. Important things to think about when you're doing your backward roll is to look at your chest, because you don't want to roll on the back of your neck, and that will help with your back tuck getting your head in, because you don't want to whip your head back either, because that will hurt your neck. All right, so when I go to do my backward roll, I'm going to stand up nice and tall, arms by my ears, still want to squeeze my belly and my butt, and my feet together. I'm going to squat to the floor. I'm going to pretend I'm holding a tray of pizza above my head. I want to roll back and smash my tray of pizza on the floor. Knees over my head and stand up. What you don't want to do in a backward roll is not use your arms. Like this, yes, you rolled over backwards, but you're not pushing and you're not getting nice and tight and rounding, because when you do that, you're rolling on your shoulder and you don't want to do a sideways back flip. That could be very scary and dangerous. All right, so if you're struggling with getting a backward roll or perfecting it, an easy way to get one is to use a wedge mat. If you don't have a wedge mat, you could try doing backward rolls downhill, but a wedge mat is always going to be the easiest. So still going to hold my pizzas, squat to the mat, roll back, look at my belly, look at my knees, smash my pizzas, stand up. And you always want to finish arms on the ears, belly squeeze, butt under, because that's how we want to land our back tucks. So that way we're landing things safely and we don't have to worry about rolling ankles or anything. All right, now that you've finished learning your basics and cleaning them up, making them look nice and tight and really good and clean, now you get to work on your drills. Drills are your next important part. You'll use them for all your bigger skills and even the littler skills, but having nice drills will equal having nice skills. It kind of rhymes. Drills are important because they prepare your body and your muscles to kind of get the feel of what the skill will be like without actually doing it. So practicing the skill essentially, but in a safer, less stressful way to make doing it easier. Okay, one of the easiest drills for me to get a back tuck is to have stacked mats. So right now I have two 16-inch mats with a wedge mat. Anything could work for doing this drill, like stacked mattresses, stacked cushions. At home, if you have access to a gym, you can always just stack up mats. But this helped me get a standing back tuck. Arms up, you're gonna squeeze, belly squeeze, butt. That's always what you wanna do. Make sure you're tight before you do any skill. Push through your toes and jump to backward roll. Remember to land nice and tight. Constantly working that good form to help get a good back tuck. I'll do it one more time. So arms up on my ears, I'm squeezing tight, I'm looking ahead. I do not want to look down because that's where I will go. Keep the chest up, jump. All right, a good drill to help with rotation with your back tuck, standing tuck, would be to do backward rolls continuously down the floor. So I'll go ahead and show you what that would look like. So you're gonna do your same backward roll that you were doing before, but you're just gonna keep going. That really helps get those knees over the head and work your rotation. Caution though, it might make you a little dizzy. But make sure when you're going back that you're keeping those arms in your ears and you're keeping your push and you're staying nice and tight in your stomach and your core, so that way you can get those knees over your head really easily. Another drill that you can do at home is to lay flat, put your feet together, arms right here, bring your knees over your head, and push. This one's a little bit harder, but it really helps get the knees over your head. I'll do one more in case you can't see it. So like here, bringing my knees up and over. Okay, so a good drill to work getting your knees up to your chest is doing backward tuck jumps up to a panel mat. Same thing, arms on your ears, feet together, and you can swing your arms too if you want, or if it helps, keep them on your ears. And just do as many as you want. This is one you can do just about anywhere. You don't have to have a panel mat to do this one. You could use cushions. Anything that's blockish or elevated will work just fine. All right, now that we've gone over all the drills and the form, let's work on our actual back tuck. So next step is to practice, practice, practice. Some common mistakes that people make is head out, legs apart, not fully extending through your toes, not tucking, bring your knees up, flex feet, overall just general looseness, and not looking up, not getting your arms back. So first one to keep your head up is just find a spot on the wall, stare at that. Do not take your eyes off that spot on the wall the whole time. That will help keep your head up and keep it from going all the way back. All right, next thing, legs apart. That one just really comes down to squeezing your muscles. Make sure you're squeezing your legs and your thighs together and your butt as tight as you can. Help keep those legs together. Next thing would be slow rotation. Probably the reason why you have slow rotation is you're not getting your knees all the way up, or you're not getting enough height. So push all the way through your toes and get those knees up quickly over your head. Stay nice and tight. The more open you are, the slower your rotation is going to be. It's like if you think like a ball, you want to be a ball, so you roll nice and fast. Not fully extending through your toes. That is a big one. If you do not jump, you will not go up. You have to jump all the way through your toes. Again, like I already said, to get up, to get the height, to fully rotate and get all the way over. It is so hard to do a back tuck without jumping. It is impossible. Please push through your toes. Next thing would be flex feet, overall looseness. If you are loose, that's dangerous. First of all, that is dangerous. Second of all, you will get major deductions. 3, you're probably forming bad habits. Practice being tight all the time, and then you will naturally be tight and you won't have to think about it. Getting tight and squeezing your belly, your butt, arms, everything, squeeze it. Just squeeze it. Just stand there for a second. Focus from your head all the way down, squeezing your body before you go each time until you can just naturally do it. That is the easiest way to get tight. Same with toes, just work on pointing them as hard as you can and making sure they're pointing off the ground. Not looking up, that one kind of goes more with your head out. If you're not looking up, you're gonna go straight down. You're not gonna get up and back enough. So make sure your head and your eyes are looking straight forward. You want to make sure your eyes are looking a little bit more higher up, so that way you can go up, because that's what we want to do in a back tuck. We want to go up. We don't want to go down. Low back tucks are scary back tucks. We want nice, high, big, fast, round, back tucks. Next thing would be not getting your arms back. This is one that I sometimes struggle with. A good way for me that I personally break that habit is just arms on the ears. If I start with my arms on my ears and I keep them there, then they're already back enough. Sometimes I like to stop here, and that kind of limits how high I can get in my rotation a little bit. So work on, if you can, all the way back, or just leave them all the way up. And those are your common mistakes. Little mistakes can greatly affect your back tuck and the safety of your skill and your overall score. If you're looking into doing competitive gymnastics or trampoline and tumbling, they will deduct you on all of that. So everything I just said, if you're not doing it, those are attempts that you're losing from your score, and it makes it harder to build off onto newer, higher skills. So make sure that you're keeping good form, staying as tight as you can, and that's what good form is, just basically being tight and being clean and being safe. If you have good form, you are being safe. And then also an easy way to check yourself, because a lot of times you don't realize you're doing this stuff until you see it. So I always suggest that you film yourself, record yourself doing your skills, then you can either put it in slow motion or watch it back a couple times. Watch your toes, watch your legs, watch your stomach, your arms. See what you're doing wrong, and then go back and try to correct it. A lot of it just comes down to squeezing everything you can and just looking straight ahead, and that is really the easiest way to fix a back tuck. Alright, so in conclusion, for review, all you need to really do to perfect your back tuck is clean up your basics, clean up your form, practice your drills, and stay tight. If you can do all those things, your back tuck will be beautiful. You will get perfect scores on it, and everyone likes getting good scores, or just having a nice safe back tuck, because the looser you are, the more chances you have for injury, and that is no fun. And you don't want to get mental blocks either. The tighter you are, the more able you'll be able to do it without being scared of doing it, because skills like these are scary when you're loose. The more tight you are, the more confident you'll be, the less scary it will be. Alright, so after this video, I hope you guys are all able to clean up your back tucks and make them look perfect and get really high scores on them. Thank you for watching.